What's up, everybody? Toy Optics here. Thank you for tuning into my new YouTube channel. We're coming to you from deep inside the Sarlacc pit, and our inaugural video brings you the Hasbro Pulse Haslab G.I. Joe Classified Series Dragonfly. With that, let's begin. Alright, so I assume most of you tuning in have already seen 101 clips of this thing being unboxed. So we're just going to bring this on in for a landing and get right to it. Let's just marvel at the sheer size of this. It barely fits in my workspace right now. It is a massive helicopter. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure my wife is going to look at me cross-eyed when she walks in the door this evening. So get ready, guys. Hide your toys. And referring back to that unboxing video that Lenny and Tony did a few months ago, you guys have probably gone over this plenty. So I just want to jump in, grab a few of the finer details, and let you guys be on your way and play with your own. Going from nose to ass, you start off with the Gatling gun up front, and you've got some more guns up here on the side and on the opposing side. You have the step, which comes down and it reveals internals for the gun, the awesome chain fed, a lot of nice little tampo details. You know whose name this is. And then we have our Dragonfly emblem. Coming down to the wing, you have a lot of your heavy artillery. On this side, you have a massive cannon, also chain fed. We'll get right in there. You can see all the shells just ready to go. You have this big ass missile right here. Comes right off, launches. And then you have this cluster right here. And each individual bomb or missile comes right off on the dog bone. It's a directional dog bone, so they all sit in a specific way. Or you could take this off and you can put on the chips and salsa, also directional. You get one of each for each side. Let's just flip this over real quick. You'll see a lot of the same details, the tampos, the machine gun, the step, the chain feed going in. Hey, I forgot a sticker. Let's get rid of that so that we can actually open this later. And then as we come down to this wing, we have our winch. And this is something I'll go over a little bit later. We're gonna move up to the top of the helicopter now, where we have another panel so that we can access, or your mechanic can access, the jet engines. As you can see, jet intake, danger, don't stick your finger in there, ha ha ha. You've got your rotors, and I'm probably gonna hit the camera with this. Got the rotors, full on spinning action. Right here, you have the button for the lights, which we'll go over in a second. Coming down, you've got the exhaust, beware of blast for your jet engine. You have your stabilizer fins, they twist. And just so you can see, they twist in unison. And then coming down to the rear fins, they start in this up position and can come into the down position, kind of at a slight angle. They have the Dragonfly tampo on both sides. You have this little cover that comes off, and then you can access whatever that's supposed to be. Another exhaust port, or I'm not sure, because I am not a helicopter pilot. Backing up just a little bit, we go to the landing rails. You have a foot peg here and a foot peg here, and you have the same on the opposite side. To display your Dragonfly, should you choose, it comes with this really great flight stand. I haven't done anything yet, but there's a spot for decals that I'll show you in a second. The reason I have put it on this is because I wanted to circle back to our winch. And we are using our friend Airborne. Shout out to Tony's Figs, because I know he's super excited about using this guy with his helicopter. And we've just got him dangling from the rope or the line. And there is a little crank back here that we twist and turn and hopefully don't get caught up on. And then we can bring our guys up, or we can rappel our guys down. And just for a quick closer look, at the end of the winch you have the silver hook that can attach to several accessories, figures, or items. And again, it just pulls out, and then right here you have a ratcheted lever that you just twist, and it sucks up all the slack. As I'm sure you've already seen with some of the other unboxing videos, you get some nifty fire effects going on. And this is one of my favorites because it solves a couple issues that I had with the Vamp and the Stinger in terms of where it puts the dog bone for the launch. And boom, so that, you just put it in the port right there, and then this just fits under the dog bone right there, and it looks like the missile is firing in mid-air. And I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty badass. You also get two of these firing effects that fit into either one of these machine guns in the front, and look at that, they oscillate. I didn't even know that till right now, and I'm in my own way, but here, boom. Or it can fit into this heavy gun cannon, whatever you want to call it, right here. It does not fit into the front Gatling gun, but give me 1 second and let me test something. All right, let's see if I'm right here. If we take one of the firing effects that came with the Viper 3-pack, the Steel Core 2-pack, or the new Steel Core Commander and the Twilight Brigade. Yes. So this has the smaller millimeter ports that can fit the individual firing effects that have come with other Joes that you more than likely have in your collection. And then we get two of these blast effects, and they have the bigger peg that the launching effect has. So these can fit right here, either in the back of the missile or any one of these cluster missiles. Lots of options, lots of playability. And then you've got the sticker sheets. So here are your options that go on the base of the aerial display. Your standard Dragonfly logo, your Zombie Wild Bill logo, a lot of smaller logos. You can put them wherever you want. You can turn your Dragonfly into a zombie Dragonfly, which I think is pretty cool, almost sort of like a rat rod Dragonfly. And then you've got the traditional teeth with the eyes and all sorts of things to customize the chips and salsa that can go on these guys, or Butch and Sundance, or Country Western, and then all the other emblems. So a lot of customizing that can happen with this bad boy. Tip to tail, that is the basic gist of the Dragonfly. Let's take a nicer look at the interior and the electronics. And now we come to the part of the Dragonfly that I'm most interested in, and I think a lot of you may be as well, is the interior of the cockpit. So to have access to that, this can open kind of like the His Tank did. They did a side access here and they did a side access here for diorama shoots or playability. Not really as functional. And I think that you want to be careful when you open, especially the front piece. It kind of feels like it hinders here, and I can already see a little bit of a stress mark forming on mine. Pop this open, and boom. Or you come over to this side, and this side just lifts up like that. But if you really want to have access and get your figures in, you just lift the entire canopy open like this. And now that we're inside the canopy, we have our 4-point harness, which is a simple peg coming into here. And it has a lot of extra slack that can get sucked up in, so you can fit it nicely around a lot of different Joes of different body sizes and body types. So you can see the mushroom peg right there. And you just put your Joe in, slide the legs through, put that around the arms, and button him up nice and tight. You have the joystick, which is on a ball. So it moves and turns and does all sorts of fun stuff. And then we come to, well, you know, me not being a professional, if memory serves, co-pilot goes in the front, pilot goes in the rear. If I'm wrong about this, I know you guys are going to sound off about it in the comments. I am happy to take any and all corrections. But same thing, 4-point harness that has the ability to take up the slack, joystick that pivots around, nice little, oh, let's get a closer look at that. Little thrust lever, goes back and forth, both sides. Now we get to the instrument panels, and these are just chock full of details. Levels, gyrometer, inclinometer, altimeter, radar, yaw control, pitch control. I am not a pilot, so I'm just hoping that I'm nailing some of these. There's your, again, correct me if I'm wrong. Here's your pilots, and here is your co-pilots. And then if we want to hit some real magic, we go to the button by the rotor and give it one push, and voila. Let's just look at that. All lit up, nice and bright. If you do photography like I do, that is gonna be some amazing, just a little bit of green spill on the face, just makes the realism pop. And once again, real quick, here is what I believe is the pilot's panel, and let's look at some of the other electronic functions we've got. So once again, all the lights on this are controlled by this button right here on the top of the helicopter, and it's a 3-push system. So the first push turns on the instrument panel. For our second button push, that activates our front lights, which you have on both sides. All right, and for our final light, we come up underneath the behemoth and we give one more push, and there is your spotlight, landing light, floodlight, whatever it is you want to call it. And then you put it back down. And so it's 3 button pushes to turn all 3 lights on, but then it is 1 and 2 to turn all the lights off. All right, now as we all know, the Dragonfly comes with 4 figures. I am not going to spend time on this video going over each and every one of those. I may do another video, or by the time I get this up, there may already be 1,000,010 other videos that you can see that information on. But I did want to go over Wild Bill real quick, since he is the pilot for the Dragonfly. And with that, here is our favorite cowboy pilot, Mr. Wild Bill. So I know a lot of people are going to have questions about sunglasses, and I think that the Joe team did a pretty excellent job making them fit very nicely. There's sort of a hidden groove in the hair that they just sort of clip in, and they'll let you know when they're on right. He's got his cavalry Stetson. He's got his 6-shooters. Nice little detail, nice little paint. He's got his knife. And nice dry brushing. Nice, just intricate detail on the holsters, on his gloves, on the belt. And then if you want to change it up and you want Wild Bill without his hat, he's got the same system that a lot of us are used to with Shipwreck and Lady J and a couple others. So he's got a whole separate hairpiece and a separate hat. And this hairpiece, same thing, kind of has those grooves in it for his sunglasses. They just kind of snap in. Still getting used to trying to do this with a camera in between my hands, so forgive me there. And here we have Wild Bill ready to take to the skies. And let's just see how easily we can actually get him into the cockpit real fast. And I have not broken him in yet, so his joints are a little bit stiff. So we have unbuckled the harness and we have pulled out some of that slack. And that's how he fits in. We're ready to go. Just kidding. He just takes a little bit of finagling that you did not want to see me waste time on. Slight bend at the knees. You get him through the harness. You pop the mushroom peg back in. You don't knock his sunglasses off. You do a lot of jump cuts with the editing. You get that joystick down in there. And you get the joystick in his hand. And if you want, you try and get the other hand over on the thrust control. Ready to offer some aerial support or some rescue or some search and rescue. He is good to go. And then just to show this side piece again, just for some playability or diorama, that just sort of swings up and out of the way. So there you have it, in a quick nutshell, the Haslab G.I. Joe Classified Series Dragonfly. This is Hasbro's second G.I. Joe Classified Series Haslab, the first being the Hiss Tank, which I think we all have and love. And this is no different. This thing hits all the right notes. The biggest gripe anybody's gonna have is the sheer size of it and where are you gonna put it, and is your wife going to kill, maim, or divorce you? Once again, this has been Toy Optics. I hope you've enjoyed this. And if you did, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Take care now.